gray. Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friend set me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the bomb lighting. New man on the Minnesota Vikings. True first needed something more exciting. Dum 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 dum.
Yes. Hey, that is my girl Lizzo, straight from the H. By way of somewhere, I know she would. They say she wasn't born here, but she represents the H. So shout out to Lizzo. We love you, girl. Self-care, self-love, all that wrapped up in all of that. With that being said, hey, today is what? Way Back Wednesday, and I'm so excited because y'all see that beautiful chocolate melanin popping in the background. That's my beautiful cousin, Miss Monique, better known as Mo or Mahogany of Cocoa Sugars. Hi. Say hello to everybody. Introduce yourself to the audience, Mo.
You just introduced me.
But you got to tell them who you are and give them all the good stuff that I didn't give them.
It's me, Mo. It's your girl, Mo.
Y'all see that limitation running the family. Tell them a little about yourself, Mo. Tell them, because this is an opportunity for you to plug. So you better tell them what you got going on out there with that sugar scrub.
Let me run my plug real quick. I'm modest and I'm shy. So
not here. No, ma'am.
But anyway, so I'm Mahogany and we're introducing Cocoa Sugars. I specialize in butters, soaps, and scrub, all natural, vegan friendly, cruelty free. Just giving that tidbit out in regards to my products. If you haven't tried it yet, hey, what are you waiting for? If you tried it yet, thank you for all my supporters. I really appreciate you.
So tell the people, how can they get it if they want to, because my listeners are very loyal and they're very supportive, and they will be blowing up your website. Give them the web address so they can know how to connect with you.
As of now, I'm on Etsy. You can reach me you can make place orders on my Etsy site, which is Mahogany's Cocoa Sugars, or you can go on Instagram, or you can inbox me as of right now.
And that's when I say Mahogany, y'all got to know how to spell it. It's MOEHOGANY. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post that in the line down here so you guys can have access to it and you guys can connect with Mo after we get off the show. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing that we need to do. We need to connect. With that being said, here we go, Mo. I'm putting your stuff right on down here.
Thank you, cousin.
There we go. Now, I invited my cousin here because I want to have a conversation. Well, actually, we were having a conversation and okay, hold on. Okay, there you go. We were actually, just discussing because my cousin, she sells her butters and I'm a customer and my butter was low. So I was like, warring between just running up in the store and grabbing some moisturizer, because it's important that.
You better not.
Well, with that being said, when you in emergency situations, I understand, like you didn't reach out in time enough to get it, and you got to be at work and them ankles is crusty. So it's like you can't lick and spit and wipe, that ain't gonna work. Exactly. But I reached out to my cousin and instantly, like, I was able to just get a turnaround, just like period. And for me, that was, and I know it wasn't because she's my cousin, but it was just the business aspect of her and who she is. And then we started talking. I was like, why is it so hard for us to break the habit of going into the store to buy products when we have our own people that are selling it? And she was like, girl, let's talk about it. And we just really went into it because there really is a glitch in the system. I don't understand it. Like, how is it that you can comfortably go and purchase a lot of these products from the store when you know someone that's personally selling it?
Too, a lot of it is customer service. I strive on major customer service. Customer service is whether I'm selling butters or whether just whatever you hire me to do or whatever my duty is to do outside of personalize myself. Customer service is a major thing for me.
Very important.
It's a major thing, and I don't care. Important. I mean, and I think sometimes that's why as people of color, we get scrutinized a lot for our products because of that customer service, that turnaround, or and to me, that's a major factor. You have to have customer service.
Amen.
I'm not
always
right.
Amen.
Exactly.
Right. And if you're not that person that's good at customer service, you need to get somebody in that position for your business to flourish. And that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to share and maybe kind of speak as devil's advocate, because I know that our people are just not supporting us because they don't want to support us. There has to be a science behind it. And I think like I say, when you start having that conversation, people start to kind of click and say, well, you know what? I never thought about it from that perspective. And that makes sense. And a lot of times they're more apt to be more supportive. If it's just for a trend, if it's just for a little bit, right. If I can just shake you up and get you to do it for a little bit, if I keep doing that over and over again, it'll become consistent. And then once you get some of these products in your hand and you see how amazing they are, you won't want to use those chemicals, because when you go in the store and buy a product and flip it over, on the back, all you see is science. But when you get one of Coco's products, most products, all you see is cocoa butter, natural products that your body can absorb, that won't harm you, that won't have toxins and parabens and all that good stuff. But before we get all into that, because y'all know we're going to talk about it, I'm going to get a song on. Y'all know I'm not going to play the whole song because Facebook don't be playing with us like that. But I'm going to get a quick song on, because after that, we're going to get into this Say What segment, because I also brought up a point. How is it? And I'm just going to ask y'all this. And I welcome you and your perspectives. If you want to call in, if you want to, you can hop on. I can send a link on there. You can hop on and actually share your perspective. Why is it that as a people, we create some of the most amazing things? We'll take the scraps. Think about it, y'all. If you just really think about what chitlins and oxtails and all that is, I personally don't eat them chitlins. Hey, but now, I remember back in the day when you could go buy chitlins and it was cents and dollars. Exactly. Now, you know, oxtail, both of them were inexpensive to purchase because it was considered the scraps. Exactly. Now that we've shown people how to season that boy, how to clean that boy and make it good, now it's overly priced, very, very expensive. Or you can go get the bootleg, and you know, the Korean market will definitely sell you a bootleg. They will make a copy of it. They will make a counterfeit of all your Louis Gucci Poochie, and y'all out here buying it. But you have your neighbor, your cousin, your homegirl, your uncle, sister, baby mama that's selling cute, cost-effective clothes, but you won't even buy. You won't even look. You won't even tell somebody else that will purchase. Why is that? What is that about? You would rather take the bootleg of what we created and we made popular, and now it's being resold to us. But you still have the opportunity to get it from the little man, but you won't. Also, Mo. Yeah. One of the drawbacks that I've gotten is, when I buy from Black businesses or personal people, the stuff is overpriced. Can you explain to these people why the cost is what it is? And because I've told them 1,000 times, you may pay $1 more for mine, but I'm only making $1 more profit. You're going to pay $1 less for theirs, but their profit is still $6 because they didn't pay 12 cents for what they charging you $7 for and making all their profit. Absolutely. Whereas all of your stuff.
For me and my products, I market my products based off of what my heart desired. The love that I put into my products, the ingredients I'm using 100% organic, just the time, the strength, the intentions that I'm setting on my products, it's quality. Right. And I believe in myself. And I strongly agree that, I strongly believe that my products are for those who they're intentional for. Right. The vibrations and the intentions that is set out is going to attract those people. Exactly. If the product is too expensive for you, it doesn't fit it's not for you. Right. And I think that's a mindset that we have to. Sometimes I feel like as entrepreneurs, you feel like, well, maybe my products are too much, or maybe I'm not charging enough, or I'm charging too little. Whatever your intentions are when you're making your selling your products, making your products, or whatever it is that you're selling, you have to make sure that you're comfortable with your price. Right. And what I found is that people are not afraid to pay for what they want.
Exactly. This for someone that is wearing name brand label to tell me that my prices are too expensive, but you don't have go Louis Vuitton when you go in there and pay $6,000. Okay, $600 for vinyl. It's not even a sustainable sustainable material that is worth the price tag. You're absolutely paying for the name that they've created. And I get that. I too am trying to create a name. But why is it so easy for us to support a name and not support our own? Why don't we have that same zest and zeal about a cocoa sugar that we have about a Louis Vuitton? Why aren't we rocking and, and sharing our experiences when we purchase our t-shirts that make cute statements that say whatever it is that we feel, make us feel empowered, but you want everybody to know that you've spent X amount of dollars on this product, and these people really don't even care if you're wearing it. They just want your money. They don't care about you, your causes. They're not reinvesting it back into your community. They're not doing anything for you, but they selling you, and you're buying it. Yeah. Why, Mo? Tell me why, sis. Why?
That I simply can't explain that. I mean, I think that's a generational. That's something that's been going on for years. The it crew, everyone. If it's not popping, if it ain't live, if it ain't me. And so it goes back to the want to compete with the Joneses is what I agree. I totally think it is.
I agree.
And I feel like that even at this point, where you have people that will not buy from your small businesses or Black owned businesses because feeling like, oh, I know her or I know him, and you where you're discouraged from buying from small Black businesses or small businesses where you have those opportunities to invent yourself. Mm-hmm. So if you don't believe in yourself, how are you going to believe in me? Yeah. Like I said, once again, those are not my customers.
Right. Exactly. That's not my market. Exactly. Right. And I'm not going to hurt myself trying to figure out how can I pull you in. I'm not even really interested in you being in.
Right.
To be honest.
Absolutely.
And that's not being cocky or rude. It's just saying everybody ain't for everybody. And it's a billion people out here. I don't need all billion. I just need my 10%. Yeah. If I could just get 10%, I'm winning.
Yeah.
I'm winning. I mean, period.com. I read an article and it was so interesting. This article was written by a person of Caucasian persuasion. Okay. So I really found it interesting to read. It was, what does cultural appropriation actually means? Mm-hmm. The do's and don'ts of that.
Wow.
So
that sounds interesting.
It was very, very interesting, and I'm not going to go through it in detail because at the end of the day, that's not what I do. But I do like to share perspectives from others, right, and not just my own. This is by Jenny Anvins and Quartz. As by the name, you know that they're not our people, but she had some good points, and it was kind of interesting that it needed to be said, and then she said it, and I'm glad that she said it, and she's aware of it. Number one, because there are some things that you need to know, the do's and don'ts. So how do we move past finger pointing and the coexistence in our way that both of us, all of us, can openly create and not be, too sensitive, mm-hmm, and be careful about how we respecting each other, because at the end of the day, we out there. We out here, y'all. They like what we doing. They like what we bringing. They gonna cookie cutter it, and they gonna counterfeit it. But you have choices. Right. Buy Black and luxurious. With that being said, they say blackface is never okay. Really?
Blackface is not
really? Wow. So they had to be told that. That was a number one. Blackface is not okay. When has blackface ever been okay? Okay, good. Awkward silence.
Yeah.
Period. This is painfully obviously. Don't dress up as ethnic stereotypes. So it's important that y'all understand that we are good with y'all loving what we do, but do it right.
Yeah.
Don't be, dressing in Indian style clothes thinking you respecting the culture. You're actually being disrespectful. Right, yeah. Right. The number two was it's important to pay homage to artistry and ideas. acknowledge their origins. When you appropriate, let them know you didn't come up with this.
Exactly.
These cornrows was just nothing you thought up in your head.
Exactly.
You saw something that was African culture origin and you were inspired.
Exactly.
It's okay.
It's okay.
That we can accept. But walk around acting like you came up with box braids is a little bit too much for me. Period.com.
Because you can't want the rhythm and not the blues.
You can't want the struggle.
You can't want the rhythm.
You can't want the hot look, girl. Oh, you got to get out. I couldn't even think of what I was. Period. Okay. Number 3, don't adopt sacred artifacts and accessories. Yeah, some of those religious pieces that y'all be rocking when y'all be wigging, when y'all with it, can be a little disrespectful if you don't know what the origin is. So it's very important that you kind of stay from sacred artifacts and things that, like, I've seen some of the kids with the little African symbols.
Yeah.
You don't even know what that means. So my advice for you would be probably to stay away from stuff like that.
I do disagree.
Go ahead, give me your perspective.
I disagree because I feel that as a culture, I mean, there's different cultures that I certainly resonate with. There's different cultures that I like.
Right. Different cultures that you mixed up with.
Different cultures that I'm mixed up with. There's things that, but I can never, like I said, you can't, when I'm speaking of African Americans, I'm just saying that I see a lot of times that we're copied, we're modeled, we're, you want the rhythm, but you don't want the blues.
Right.
And so my biggest point in regards to that is the hips, the lips, all that stuff that comes with a price. With being just like you said, the cornrows. Why we cornrowed our hair?
Right.
Because it was too thick.
Yeah, it was a matter of keeping it,
so
out the way. Yeah.
I mean, so there's a lot of reasons why that culture did what it did. There's a reason behind the cornrows.
Right.
And so you want the rhythm, but then there's some blues too.
You got to understand.
And you don't want to acknowledge our blues. So even when you go back to the chitlins and oxtails, well, we had to eat like that.
Yeah, it was about that's what we had. That's all we had.
So everything that and I just feel like we're magical people. So everything we had, we turned it into magic. We turned it into
amazing. You can say it. Go on, say it. Amazing. I'm about to put this link on here. So if you want to come in, I see that Joanne wanted to share some information. So I put it at the bottom. Joanne, the HTTPS, you would type that in, and that's the link to where you can come on and share your perspective. Thank you so much for joining in. We appreciate that. Hey Karen, hey cousin.
Hey cousin, love you.
Love you, cousin. So yeah, we really okay. I apologize. I kind of got distracted when I got that message because she has a perspective that she wanted to share. Because she's an entrepreneur and she has her own business, and they're doing things that that shows or speaks to what we're going through, what we're talking about. Everybody in business can probably share a story or two where they've had an experience like what we're talking about. Right. What I wanted to say when I said don't adapt sacred artifacts and accessories, I was speaking to like when Victoria's Secret sent Carly Kloss down the runway with the French suede bikini and the turquoise jewelry and the feather headdress. Essentially It was a sexy Indian costume, and it was really cute and it was really to catch the eye, but it was really disrespectful to all of the Indian culture because that was a religious aspect of that attire. That attire is not to be sexy. You gotta what they use when they're in the spiritual moment to do a spiritual thing, and it's a tradition for their spirituality, their culture. And now you got a half dress. I mean, it's just you got to be mindful. Right. When you're adapting and appropriating, and that's what that's speaking to. Not necessarily saying that you can't do it and rock it be cute, but just know what you're rocking, why you're rocking it. Also, the number 4 was remember that culture is fluid. Basically, and as you know, we evolve, we change, and most of that is adaptation. We adapt to our surroundings, where we were experiencing, what we're going through, mostly survival. So that's why it's so fluid. Materials change, looks change, trends change, availabilities change. So it has to be very fluid. It's imperative that you understand the fluidity of it. Don't forget that appropriation is not a substitute for diversity. Right. That one really, that's a problem when it comes to the hair. again, I spoke to it. We love to see when our allies, our culturally different allies, our sisters from other misters, other races, appropriate or embrace. And I'm being very careful and mindful of my verbiage because I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, because I have a plethora of everybody. Diversity as far as friendship and love for me is just that, diverse. So I don't want to offend anybody, but again, it's not okay. Let me just say this. I remember a time in society as leading into the work market very early on in my 20s, going to look for jobs or, putting myself out there to be hireable. One thing that was not acceptable in the market in corporate America, you wasn't rocking no cornrows. You couldn't wear no braids. You couldn't have no natural, or you were not hireable. You were too ethnic. You was problem. You was trouble. That's how they looked at you. It was in the rule books. It was written. No cornrows, no braids, no. At the time, I think the word was urban, something like that.
Yeah.
Basically telling us that the natural state of our hair was inappropriate. We were not qualified to do a job from what our hair looked like, which I have not been in any job other than being a stylist where what my hair looked like affected my work. And even then, I did some damn good hair with BDBs all over this head. So what that means is that's a problem. But it made us feel like our natural urban hairstyles were inappropriate. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until someone of Caucasian descent or Kim Kardashian, and I hate saying names, but I gotta say names. But it wasn't until someone like that started rocking, or they wasn't even Kim, it was Kylie, her little sister, that it became trend, and then it was hot, and now it's in vogue. Now this is couture. This is amazing, but this is the thing that kept us from being able to feed our families. Right. So that looks different, that speaks different, that feels different. Yeah. Mo, I want to give you the opportunity to, because I can go on and on about this appropriation, and I can see my little blood pressure. So I know why Cocoa Sugars was created. I know the motivation behind it, but I want the audience to be able to support you and hit your link and purchase your products, because I want them to buy into you and the why. A lot of people never know the why. Share with the audience your motivation to what made you even want to start doing your body butters and scrubs.
I believe for me, the reason it started last year, I just had an epiphany of a journey that I recall having with God, and just saying that I was going to follow this journey and truly understanding my purpose and what I was here on this earth for. Mm-hmm. My purpose on this earth was to be loving, to be a healer, to be empathetic. And so within that journey of healing myself, it was just, in the home, we were in our homes all during the pandemic, which primarily throughout the years, I've always been the herbalist, or probably been the person that my family or my friends would call and say, hey, you think I can use this, or what can I use? So I've always been the go-to person with that. So it was just a matter of me having that time, really self-reflecting and creating a butter. But within that butter, I was going through a phase in my life where I was looking at just times where I was showing just, and that's another topic, another conversation. That's a whole nother conference right there. But the self-love journey. All of 2020
speak to
was
that.
A self-love journey.
Yeah, because see, you shared all that with me, and that's what I want people to understand. What goes it's a bottle with product, but there's so much more that goes into that besides the natural products. Go ahead, Mo.
And so with that self-love journey, it was creating more, like you said, other ethnicities can come out and create the things that we already have. They have the same things. I mean, they take our ideas, our creativity, and they profit off of it. But for me, and for me, it wasn't even about that. It was creating a product that my intentions were for other women that were going through what I was going through at that particular time was a self-love, having that time to just reflect, something that reached from us. That's just like you have Big Mama, and Big Mama leave down
Recipes
or
and
recipes or different things like that. But it always felt good because you could resonate with her because it came from her to you.
It's that nostalgia of it all.
The nostalgia.
You can remember that first time when she shared that with you.
Exactly. I remember the first time buying a soap bar from Shea Moisture years ago. And I remember like, wow, this is awesome. This is us. Like, I typically use Dove, but I mean, Shea Moisture, wow, this is us.
And then
what?
It got sold to them. And it wasn't the same anymore.
It wasn't the same.
How you gonna sell me?
That's true.
That's
what for me, leaving my legacy and creating something that I can leave in the world, and for another woman. And also I make men products too.
Okay.
So, but using the products and the intentions are set to self-love, to self-reflect, to know that you can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do.
So what you're basically saying is you challenged yourself by doing this. You knew you had the idea, and this creativity was a challenge to yourself.
And it was a major challenge because I remember you and I sitting down when we were on the phone and we were talking. And I was like, well, cousin, there's so many people. Everybody sells butter and all that. Blah, blah, blah.
What I told you, cousin.
And you said, cousin, on the aisles in the grocery store, there are different brands of salts, all at different prices and all different name brands.
They even got different colors now, cousin.
Different color salts, all kind of salt.
But at the end of the day, it's what
the individual's preference is. They're gonna buy what they want to buy. They're gonna buy, and so that's what helped me come out of my fear, self-sabotage, and just different things. Then sometimes you look at it. What are they going to say? What are your peers are going to say? Right. I mean, so it's like so many things that keep us self-sabotaging and keeping us bound to just at one level plateau.
Afraid to move.
But
when you have great, amazing people in your village that will encourage you and that will motivate you, be that person.
Exactly.
I love being that person. And I share that.
I appreciate you for that.
And I ask for you to just pay it forward.
Absolutely.
Pour that into somebody else.
Absolutely.
Be that encourager to somebody else. Now, cousin, I know it ain't all been easy because we've had those conversations as well. And that's why we're here right now, because there's been some highs and there's been some lows. Share with the audience some of your highs and lows in your journey of being an entrepreneur.
The biggest thing that all of it's been a learning experience for me.
Period.
It's been a learning experience, and throughout the year, I learned that there is no mistakes. There's always lessons learned. And so I've learned a lot of lessons. I've seen how, just in this journey, I've seen how I've allowed, it's kind of like, we could talk about the stigmatism of who she thinks she is and why does she feel like she can do this and what, and those,
oh, really?
And yeah. And her,
of all the nerds. And then they don't support it just because of that reason. Haven't smelled it, touched it, used it, tasted it.
Yeah.
Just because it's you.
Yeah.
And they trying to figure out how you think you good enough.
How you good enough.
Because I am.
And so I learned that the biggest lesson I've learned is everybody's not going to support you on your journey. Everybody is not going to support you. And so my biggest thing, I had to come up with my mind that my people that God has already intended for me to reach, it's going to hit them. It's going to resonate with them. It's going to hit them. It's for them.
Right.
It may not, Kris, it might not be for you.
It's for me,
if
baby.
It wasn't for you, it just wasn't for you. I get it.
Right.
So it wasn't, those were some of the tactics. Some of the things I had to get out of my mind is that everybody that you drink, hang out with, pray with, play with, hang out with, they're not there to, those are not
right.
Because if we were all dependent on our friends, cousins, associates, whoever to support us, we would never make it.
No.
So you have to push out and brand out. Strangers have been some of my best friends. I've met
Amen.
a lot
Amen.
of people just within last year and this year. And believe it or not, I mean, and not to say none of my friends or my family haven't supported me, because I do. A lot of I have family members, they're on auto refill.
They call her late night. Right.
And so that's not my thing, but it's just sometimes we can allow those the outside voices, the critics.
Right.
And sometimes your family, your friends are your worst critic, because they feel like, oh, I've been knowing her all my life.
Mm-hmm.
How she, so we had that how she
Yeah.
attitude. And I just feel like anybody that's out there on their journey, entering into we were created to co-create with the universe.
Exactly.
The
law of attraction is real. LOA is real, and what you put out, you will definitely get back. And that's how it's meant. So
exactly.
Create.
So anybody, whatever, I don't care if you take some jeans and throw some bleach on them and some paint and mix it all up. That's your creation. Whatever it is that God is putting in your visual, or in your instinct to create, do it.
Okay, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Great perspective. I love that. Y'all, you heard her. Just do it. She said, just listen, just do it. Now, we all have heard just do it. Leap, jump, go, move. That all it sounds, yeah. It sounds so simple, but it's not quite. Can you give us some pointers, like what are some steps that they would need to take? Share what it means to start. Some people just have no idea of how to execute it. Can you help them with one pointer? Don't give them all your stuff, because they need to start doing their own research and do it for themselves. But if you could share something that made you really just move, or that movement that you made that made everything else move, what would that be?
I began to listen to my instinct. I began to listen to, I'm slowing down, meditating and praying. I knew that I wanted to do something. I knew that it was something that I was here for. And this is just one of the aspects. But in this journey, I had to take a rest. I had to take a break.
Yeah.
I had to take a break. And the reason why, and to me, I feel like that's the reason why I'm saying that, the biggest thing, because you can work, or you can push it in. Oh, well, why is it not doing this? And why is it not? I take breaks from it. Right. And not that I'm taking breaks from it because I'm constantly in the lab. But I take a step back
and
reevaluate things, because you just can't expect to just jump out and it's just going to just boom overnight. Yeah. I'm learning to take steps back and reevaluate. And I purposely want to be led by God in the direction that I'm going with this product. I feel like this was a baby that I co-created with him. Mm-hmm. And I do take my steps back to hear from him. There are other lines that are being added to Cocoa Sugars. But the biggest, if I can give any type of advice, is not to write your vision, make your vision plain. However, don't get in a rush. Don't get in a rush. Don't beat yourself up because nobody's supporting you, or nobody's, or you don't feel like you're good enough. Just continue with your process. Continue with what you're trying to do. And when you have to take those steps back, take those steps back.
Amen. You better speak to him, cousin. My cousin giving y'all some great advice. So y'all better have y'all notepads out. Be sure and share, like, tag a friend. If you're on here and you catching the replay, share. Tell somebody else about it. Let them know you had a great time listening to the City Highlight with your girl, Kris. Hey, y'all. Hey. And I had my cousin, Miss Mo of Cocoa Sugar. Get you some of that body butter.
Get that
body butter.
We got scrubs, turmeric scrubs, charcoal, tea tree scrubs. We got it all for you.
We got it all. Now, my cousin brought me a gift. And, she's just so good at doing this kind of stuff. Can you see? Don't look like y'all can see the little label. There it go. It's interesting. You see that? Now the label won't pick up because of the light. But anyway, I want y'all to see that label. This is some of my body butter. And when I told y'all I called, I was like, cousin, I had to actually FaceTime her because I wanted her to see that there was only a little ski taste, and I really needed to get her in my household, her products, because I wasn't going to buy nothing else. Because in all honesty, this is really amazing. It really works. Like, it makes my skin feel amazing. Check this out. Yeah, look at that.
And cousin, I'm so glad that you enjoy the product. And I pray to
girl, I'm doing a commercial. Hold on. Hold on. I need for these people. No, I'm just playing, cousin. Go ahead.
No, I just like I said, with my products, they're 100% organic. It's
all natural.
All natural.
You can feel good. Ooh, and they smell. I have people stop me and ask me,
self-love.
What is your fragrance? And I cocoa sugar.
Yeah.
Because I don't have perfume on. I just be wearing my cousin's butter. Look at them elbows. Look. Okay, I'm sorry, cousin. Go ahead.
No, I appreciate it. I did my self-love this morning. And that's why I said my intentions and the intentions that I put into my products is 100% organic and true self-love. And I pray that every woman or individual that applied this butter to their body or used any of my products, that you begin to heal, whatever it is, mentally, physically, spiritually, even that you be financially blessed, that your territory will be increased. And those are the intentions that I've certainly.
Now, how many products are you going to Walmart and purchase that they're sowing into your territory? They're saying not only do they want you to be great, but because you're supporting their product, they know you're gonna be great. They putting it.
Yes, there was
all that's going up in here. There's seeds being sown in this.
Exactly.
For me, that's a buying point. For me, when it comes to where I'm gonna spend my value dollars, hard work for dollars, the price point is gonna be knowing that somebody created a product with me in mind. Absolutely. Somebody created a product that thought about not just me wanting to be lubricated, but the spirituality, the energy that went into it. This is my people. And when I say that, I don't mean by blood. She is my blood people, but I mean energy wise, spiritually wise.
Right.
It's my people. So y'all support my people. Mo.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, give the people the website.
Etsy you can follow me on Instagram at Mahogany Cocoa Sugars, or you can go on my Etsy page at Mahogany Cocoa Sugars as well.
Okay.
And you can follow me on Facebook at Mahogany Cocoa Sugars.
Y'all heard that, right? Y'all writing this down, right? I hope y'all getting this because y'all gonna be mad because y'all can't come use one of mine.
Come get some self-love. Come get some self-love.
You can't use mine.
That's ultimately my thing is healing. Even with 2020, I just feel like, there was a pandemic. It was a catastrophe. It was a lot going on.
Very much.
But I ultimately feel like that God was calling us back to self-love, to heal our mind, body, and our soul.
So interesting you say that, cousin. It's like, you know what my next question is. Well, with that being said, I always like to ask my guests this question, but since you're a co-host, I'm gonna ask you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important that we hear this and say it out loud because we probably speak to our younger self on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
But it's not something that we do out loud. And the difference of saying something in your head and out loud is you hear it twice. So if you could speak to your younger self, mm-hmm. what's the one thing that you would share with her about Mo, the woman she is today, and why she became her?
If I could go back and talk to my younger self, well, I do talk to my younger self. I've had to heal her. 2020 was healing my inner child, and really hugging her and holding her and letting her know how much she is loved and how much she's worthy. She's worth it. She is enough.
Yes.
And that later on that she would turn out to be a beautiful woman and a resilient, God-fearing woman.
You heard that? I know she listening. She heard you, and she's probably just smiling from ear to ear. Mo, you've been to Rated X. You were actually one of my vendors this year. I was grateful for the support. I was so happy when I walked in and saw my cousin's table all set up. I'm a really big advocate for mental health in the community. As you know, I'm all about community unity and support. Share with the audience something that you do as far as community unity and what your give back is for the community or what your plans are with taking your products and instilling it into the community?
Well, outside of my products, 2020 was establishing, I mean, like I said, with self-love, self-healing, knowing that I was worthy enough, knowing that even though that I was missing the mark on a lot of things in life, everyone else was too. And that I was still worthy to reach out to women. So my biggest step going forward in 2021 is reaching out to women, establishing the women, bringing up the women, and encouraging them. So there's some things that I do have in the making of um, getting more involved in the community with uplifting our Black women. And I say Black women, but women,
Just women.
just women,
I get it, especially that younger generation.
just women, and especially the younger generation.
Now, another question that I always ask the guest or co-host, says, we all went through this pandemic together
Mhm.
and it affected all of us differently, but yet the same way. What was your lesson of 2020 and what was your blessing of 2020?
That's funny. My lesson and my blessing was get out of my way.
Mm.
It was
Mm.
both. Get out of my. Get
So
out of my
explain
way.
that. What does that mean?
And it
What
was
you mean, get out of my
because
way?
there were things that, as a kid, that something as I was healing the inner child me, there were things that she wanted to do, but she didn't feel worthy enough. She didn't feel like she was good enough. She didn't feel. She didn't have the confidence. And when I shared this story, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I thought you." I thought.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's a whole nother conference, a whole nother round table talk. However, but I was in my own way. I was, you know, you looking at
in your head,
in
clouded,
my head, listening to other people. Your friends looking at you like, who she thinks she is, or why she trying to.
And these are people that you love and trust. So if they're questioning your motives, then it makes you question yourself. It's different when strangers say something.
People that's not confident in their own self.
Right. That's what I had to learn too, because
they're overconfident and they don't have enough to pour into anybody else. So I had to learn to pour in my own cup, to pour my cup over. And now and call it selfish or whatever, but now I've learned what's in my cup is for me.
Right.
If anything fizzes over, the stuff just like pouring the Coke in a cup. If it whatever fizzes over, you guys can have that.
Right.
But what's in my cup is for me. I'm gonna need that to sustain me.
I love it. That's good, cousin.
I'm gonna need that.
That's good. I like that. I need to take. I'm gonna have to rewind that and screenshot. That's probably gonna be the replay of the day. Period.com, because I love that. I love that. I love it. Okay. We've kind of covered everything, but I want to know now.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, do you have any partners? Is it just all Mo?
I
know it takes a village, but
it's Mo. I have some solid investors.
Okay.
But pretty much the work, the lab is me in the lab.
With that being said,
me in the lab.
What are some of your future goals and projects?
My future goals and projects are right now, Kris. I'm not ready to speak of those things yet.
That's okay. You can just give us a little glaze on it. Small thing.
I am. My next step is to go.
Must be big. She didn't got cool. Look, she didn't got incognito on me. So I don't want to tell. Go ahead, I'm listening.
It is starting a nonprofit. Like I said, helping women, uplifting the women, pulling out the goddess girl in you.
I love it, cousin. I love it. Legacies, man.
And a book will be coming out. So hopefully that book will be coming out soon.
All right. We got some aspirations and goals in here that sound amazing. Thank you, Mo, so much for joining me and being my co-host.
I really enjoyed myself.
The City Highlight enjoyed you too, girl. Now, is there anything else that you wanted to share before we get out of here, Mo? Cousin, you need to come meet us. I see you on here. Come on, girl. We're going to call you when we get off the live and we're going to let you know. Come on outside in these H-Town streets and play with us.
We have to go back inside.
Yes, because we're in these streets for a little while. So come on out and play with us. Come on out and play. But I ain't telling everybody where I'm going because some of y'all got the Rona and I don't want to be around you. With that being said, Mo, go ahead and tell us anything else you want to share.
Like I said, if you follow me or if you noticed me last year, it was self-love. I'm certainly highly advocate of self-love, loving yourself, putting yourself first. It's not selfish to choose you. Always choose you. Follow your passion. Do what makes you happy.
Amen.
And the rest will fall into place.
That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, y'all, you tuned into the City
And don't
Hall.
forget to buy the cocoa sugars.
I was waiting. I was like, she ain't gave no
Go
website.
get that cocoa sugars one time. Etsy, Mahogany Cocoa Sugars.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. With that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been an amazing show. We got to really give some great perspective on why it's important that you buy from the people you know. And we share with you guys our concerns as to why you were not and what our ideas were. And we would love, or I would love, I'm sure Mo would love, if you have any different perspectives or you have any input or content that you want to add, or you just want to tell us we don't know what the hell we talking about, we need to shut the hell up. That's fine too. We welcome all that. Share your perspectives, because at the end of the day, that's what this is here for.
Absolutely.
I'm just here to share with you guys how I feel. I'm here to keep it lit. That's why it's called the City Highlight. And your girl definitely does what? Keep it litty in the city. With that being said, you ain't got to get off my live, but you got to get off my live. Bye.